Hey friends, it's Amy Deb, the Keto Queen. I'm home from work and I'm so excited, guys, to show you my favorite lasagna. Awesome, amazing goodness coming up in this kitchen tonight. We are setting this kitchen on fire. Not literally. But I absolutely love this meal. It's one of my favorite things. You guys have seen me cook it a few times because it is on my favorites rotation. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So as you guys jump on, let me know where you're watching from and what you're doing for dinner tonight that's low carb or keto friendly. We're starting this 3-layer recipe off with some cream cheese. So I have 4 ounces of cream cheese softened. We're gonna put that in our mixing bowl. And then we're gonna add 4 ounces. It's 4 ounces of cream cheese softened. We're gonna add 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese. Now I am using the already shredded mozzarella cheese. We want a low moisture mozzarella to make this layer work the way it's supposed to. And then we're gonna add 1 large egg. So let me grab me an egg. This is the best layer. No, I don't know. I like all 3 layers of this recipe. Let me turn this ground beef down. I like all layers of this recipe. It's so super yummy. So again, we have 4 ounces of cream cheese softened, 1.5 cups of mozzarella cheese, 1 large egg. Let me throw this in. I think that's a large egg. Yes, large egg. And we need 2 teaspoons, or 1 teaspoon, I'm sorry, of Italian seasoning. Let me wash that hand off. Oh, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Guys, I hope you've tried this recipe before. If you haven't, put this on your list. It is amazing. Where my teaspoons go? Here they are. I have another one somewhere. Here we go. 1 teaspoon of Italian season. This is the noodle layer of our casserole. Yes, the noodles of our lasagna are these ingredients. 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of mozzarella, a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and 1 egg. And we're just gonna mix this up. And I'm throwing away this thing. I need to get me a good spoon to mix this up really good with. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna use a fork. All right, make sure I got it. The noodles, 4 ounce cream cheese, 1.5 cups mozzarella, 1 large egg, but I swear this looks like 2 eggs. Hang on 1 second, let me check something real quick, guys. Yep, I was wrong, 2 large eggs. I knew something looked different. So we need 2 large eggs. So 2 eggs, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of mozzarella, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, forgive me. So 2 eggs. All right, and we're gonna mix this up together in our bowl. You wanna make sure that cream cheese is really good and soft so it mixes easy. And we're making the noodles. Now I've got a sheet pan over here with some parchment paper on it. If you have parchment paper, it's much better. If you don't have, that's fine. Use some aluminum foil, but make sure you spray it really good. You don't want this to stick. So parchment paper is one thing I keep at the house because I use it quite often when I'm making cheese shells or I'm making recipes I don't want to stick, but I don't want to use oils and sprays to keep my pans. And I like to not clean. So I like to throw things away. So look how pretty this is. It's liquidy. It's not eggy. Y'all, I promise you, this is the awesome noodle. I use this recipe for quite a few things, actually. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and pour this onto our parchment paper. I've got my oven on 350, and we're going to cook this for about 20 minutes. It's all it needs for your noodle layer. Now, if you're making a big lasagna, you're going to want to do 2 of these. So go ahead and put 1 in, and then come mix up your next one and have it ready to go in next. 20 minutes in the oven on 350. Now, I'm cooking a small lasagna. I say that every time, but I really am cooking a small lasagna tonight. So we're just doing 1 pan of noodles, and we're going to cut it up to where I can use it for 2 layers. I like a 2-layer lasagna. It's got to have at least 2 layers, right? I mean, more layers, the better. It's lasagna. All right, and we're going to spread this out. So you see me on my parchment paper here? We're going to spread it out ultra thin, and you can actually make it into the size or the shape of your baking dish if you like. This is a small baking dish, but you really want it ultra thin, but you don't want gaps. You need to see the recipe or the ingredients. I can't even talk right. Guys, it was such an awesome day today. Thank the Lord, which I do. Last night I prayed, and let me tell you guys, I felt pretty petty. Last night I was in the bed, and you know, if y'all watched my video yesterday, you would know I had a really bad day. But it really was petty. When I laid down in bed and I started going through my prayers, and I have a prayer list and things to ask for forgiveness for, and things that I really need help with, and things for people. So anyway, I'm going through my prayer list, and I'm like, gosh, I was so petty. So petty yesterday. Yes, it was a bad day, emotionally draining, but guys, come on. There are so many things in the world going on. My pettiness was ridiculous. So I had to ask for forgiveness. So anyway, I woke up today in much better mood, much better headspace. It was an awesome day at work, thank goodness. And I am home and excited to get in the kitchen and cook an awesome meal for myself and my husband. My daughter's gonna be coming home later to eat, and it's gonna be a good night. We're gonna be doing our water aerobics in a little while. So I'm just talking and talking, but here we go. This is our noodle layer. Now look how pretty it is. Okay, it's thin. It's gonna be plenty of noodles, I think, for my dish. If I need to, I can cook another layer, but I don't think I need to. We've got our oven on 350. Let me throw this in really quickly. We're gonna set our timer for 20 minutes. And what we're gonna do is let this cook until it starts to brown along the edges. We want it brown on the edges and set firm in the middle. Let me get that cheese off there. I don't wanna waste none. All right, hang on one second. Let me get a paper towel too. Let me throw this in, I'll be right back. $350, 20 minutes. All right, and then I've got another layer over here of ground beef. I'm coming to you. The ground beef needs to cook a couple more minutes, but when the ground beef is done, all I did was add some minced onion. If you want to, you can chop up an onion and mince it really small, but cook your ground beef in either minced onion or a real onion that you cut up really small. And then we're gonna add the rest of our marinara we used yesterday, my low carb marinara. It was a Victoria brand. Guys, when I make my recipes out for the week, if I have to buy an ingredient like marinara, I try to use it up within 1 to 2 weeks. So if I don't use it all, I put it in a airtight container so it doesn't mold. And then I either try to find another recipe on my menu for later in the week or the next week, but I use this up. So when I make my recipe or my menus out, I try to think about the ingredients I have at the house already, and then the ones I'm gonna have to purchase, how can I utilize them more than once to get my dollar's worth? Okay, I like to shop smart. All right, let me stir this up. All right, so my ground beef is almost done. We're gonna let that cook while we make the filling for our lasagna. So we have 3 layers. I'm sorry. We just put the noodles in the microwave. We just put the noodles in the oven, 350 for 20 minutes. We've got our ground beef over here cooking with some minced onion. We're gonna add our marinara. That's the second layer. And another layer, a third layer, is our ricotta cheese mix, which is my favorite. Now you don't have to have this. Of course, you add ricotta cheese, you add carbs, but it's not crazy. I'm gonna wash this bowl so I don't have to dirty another one. Hang on one second. You know when you're in a hurry, you throw stuff everywhere. I got water all over the place. All right, let me check out my ground beef real quick while we dry this bowl out. I hate washing, so I mean, why use up more bowls when you can just wash this one and use it again for the second layer. Let me stir this ground beef real fast, see if it's done. Oh, yes. So I'm gonna bring over my ground beef. It is cooked. I did cook it in minced onion. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my marinara. Now, you could measure this out. I'm not. I haven't eaten all day. Actually, that's a lie. Just when I got home about 20 minutes ago, I had my first meal and it was a deli roll-up. I took a little small piece of turkey and a piece of pepper jack cheese, rolled it up. There you go. That was my first meal of the day. I haven't been hungry and I've been very busy. So I'm not counting carbs tonight because I know I've got plenty of space for 20 or less net carbs. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my entire thing of marinara. My husband likes his lasagna very meaty, and I only have 1 pound of meat. So I'm gonna add all the marinara to make it as juicy and delicious as I can. He's gonna look and say, where's the meat? All right, and we're just gonna mix up the ground beef with the marinara. And again, my ground beef was cooked with minced onion. I'm making a small lasagna today. Normally I have 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 layers of noodles, or 2 pans of noodles, but I'm gonna try to downsize this lasagna because even though I love it, I don't wanna eat it leftover for a solid week. And that's what happened last time. All right, so let me move that out of the way. Let's get to our ricotta cheese layer, guys. This is so super delicious. If you've had this recipe before, tell us in the comments how delicious it is. I love the lasagna. I love anything Italian, so I thought let's just go ahead and keep the theme for the week and have 2 Italian dishes. All right, so the ricotta or the filling layer. We have 1 cup of ricotta. All right, 1 cup of ricotta, which means this entire thing, because I don't like to skimp. This is actually 15 ounces. We're gonna go ahead and use that whole container of ricotta cheese. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. So here's my Parmesan. We're gonna do a 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup Parmesan. Oh yes, there we go, 1/2 cup of Parmesan. And we're gonna do 1 egg this time, just 1 egg. Even though I don't like to spend time like thinking about layers in a meal, I'm like, oh, layers, I mean, that's more time. This is so fast and easy, and you're using the same ingredients over and over. It's really not work at all. It's pretty simple, which is what I'm all about, is simple. All right, so we got 1 cup of ricotta cheese, a 1/2 cup of Parmesan. We've got 1 egg. We're gonna do 1 whole tablespoon of Italian this time. Now, you guys know I love Italian seasoning. You can do less than a tablespoon if you want to, but I promise this layer is the best layer. All right, and then we're gonna do salt and pepper to taste. Let me get some salt and pepper. I kind of moved over in the other side of my kitchen, so I'm trying to work on the big island that way I can spread out my layers. So salt and pepper to taste. All right, and then I don't have to get this thing out of my way because I can't stand stirring with this thing. It's too big in my small bowl. So I'm done with this. I'm gonna throw it over here out of the way. And where'd my spoon go? I had a spoon. Actually, I had a fork. Here it is. All right, I washed it a while ago. All right, and now we're gonna mix up the ricotta cheese layer. Guys, you can't eat this because it does have an egg in it, but oh man, I'm telling you, it's so yummy. And we're gonna mix it together where it really does look like a very, not necessarily firm, like the ricotta cheese carton, but I'll show you in just a second. We're just gonna mix it up. If you haven't tried this lasagna, I've done a lot of lasagnas. I love zucchini lasagna. I love the palomino noodles are okay, but this is delicious. Trust me. All right, so we're just gonna mix this up, and you'll see it's starting to get a little, it's firm, but it's like a good paste, okay? So just mix up that egg and the Italian seasoning really good in the cottage cheese. I'm gonna go over these layers again in just a second. Guys, if you have questions for me, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'm fixing to read and see if you guys have questions for me while we wait on our noodles to cook. I like to cook the noodles first because they do have to cool off just a second before we cut them and start piling things on top. But the noodles are fantastic. And I use that noodle recipe for other dishes. I just change up the flavor or the seasoning in it. So I use it for breakfast casseroles. I use it for calzones. You can use it for so many things. All right. Or I shouldn't say calzones, more like a pizza bread. I like the pizza bread. Calzones are kind of, you have to close them up. I don't like closing things up. Too much work. All right, this looks fantastic. It is a really good cottage cheese, or not cottage cheese, ricotta cheese paste. If you like cottage cheese, you can do cottage cheese too. I don't know what it'll taste like with this. All right, let's check those noodles. Let me check and see what time I got. Oh yeah, so I got 12 minutes. Let me take this phone over there though. I want you guys to see what they're looking like right now and show you what we're looking for. So this is our cheese, our noodle right now. You see how it is getting a little firm, but we're looking for brownness around the edge. Can you guys see that? It is a little firm. If I touch it, it's okay. It's not done yet. We're gonna let it keep cooking. I still have 12 minutes on my timer. We did set the timer for 20 minutes on 350. All right, so we've got our noodles cooking, almost done. We've got our meat sauce ready, just ground beef, minced onion, and marinara, low-carb marinara. And then we've got our ricotta cheese filling ready. So this is my little casserole dish. I am making a small one. My daughter told me I better have 3 pieces for her, and I said that's not possible because I'm making a small one. So we're gonna share this, my daughter, my husband, and myself. Haley still should have a leftover for tomorrow though. All right, so let's go over the recipe. You have 3 layers. Our noodles are made with 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of mozzarella. You want the low moisture mozzarella. 2 large eggs, not 1, 2. 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Mix it up really good, and then pour it over your parchment paper and thin it out. Thin it out as large as you can because these are your noodles. When it finishes, we're gonna cut them with our pizza cutter and layer those in our casserole dish. So that's the noodles and they taste fantastic. Okay, the filling is my favorite layer of lasagna. It's got 1 cup of ricotta cheese, a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of Italian, and salt and pepper to taste. Guys, super yummy, delicious. And then of course our meat marinara sauce is ground beef, minced onion, marinara. There you go. So easy. If you wanted to, you could add some garlic. Guys, can you believe I'm not adding garlic tonight? I'm not. I'm not putting garlic in here. But I usually would. I'd put it right there in the meat mixture. And let me go ahead and see if you guys have any questions while we wait on our 10 minutes to count down on the oven before our noodles are ready. I'm just gonna see if I have any questions I can help you guys with tonight. If you don't, that's fine. We're not gonna stay on here just so you can see me layer this up. We will check on the noodles in just a second so I can show you how close they are unless we are still talking. So guys, if you're finished, I gave you the recipe. It's gonna be in this post. If you don't wanna hear question answer time, you're welcome to go. These are live videos, so I can't edit. I can't speed up the cook time right now and say, and put the finished dish. This is live videos. I do live instead of recorded because I want to talk to you guys. I want to make sure I help you with any questions you have. I want to make sure that we can be real with each other. And my goal is to help people. So if lasagna sounds amazing to you, or if you've had this before, please share the video. If I've been any help to you at all on your journey, please share the video. And I see lots of friends on here. Thank you guys for joining me. I want to look and see what questions you might have. Adam says next week he may be ordering the keto nat mix. Yay, Adam. I hope so, just because I want you to feel them. You have talked about them for a little while. I'm so excited for you to actually get them. But just like I've told Adam and all of my friends, you don't have to have this product for success. I love them because they're amazing for a busy, stressful woman who is always running, always doing for others. It is just an awesome supplement for me, but you don't have to have anything to be successful if you focus on food and stay focused on food. But they are an amazing help. If you're interested, put Keto Nat in the comments and I'll send you information on Nat, N-A-T. Julie said, yes, cream cheese, good start. Yes, ma'am. Cream cheese is great in every dish. I mean, if you start off a dish with cream cheese, you already know it's successful. Sherry said, did you really... Okay. Hi, you really did help me get me and my husband switched to keto. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you sharing that. Samantha has some taco salad. Rachel got her keto nat box. Yes, Rachel, I'm so excited for you. Keep me posted. If you haven't already sent me a message telling me you got them, send me a message so I can give you some quick tips so I don't forget. Peg said this is really good. She's tried it before. Diane had baked chicken with Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, and onions. Yum. Brenda says it's been a long day for her. So yes, mine was so much better. I hope if it was bad today, I hope yours is better tomorrow. Thank you, Karen. What about keto-friendly pasta? Are they any good? Rachel, I have tried a couple. I cannot imagine pasta in a can, but I have seen the palmini noodles in a can. I just can't imagine. So I passed on that, but I have bought the packages, like the palmini package noodles that you can take out and wash, and you can actually boil them for a couple of minutes. They were okay. For me, they wasn't worth the price, so I didn't buy them again. But I have friends who love them, so it doesn't hurt to give things a try. To me, this noodle recipe is amazing. And everyone who tries this lasagna, I've never had anybody come back and say, what was you talking about? It really is so good. So I love zoodles or riced zucchini for a pasta. I like to take my zucchini and cut them in quarters and have like a ziti pasta. I love this noodle recipe. Again, it's so yummy for lasagnas or any kind of crust for a pasta or crust for a dish. You can season it a lot of different ways, so it doesn't have to be Italian. What were the ingredients on the noodles? It was 4 ounces of cream cheese softened, 1.5 cup of mozzarella cheese, a teaspoon of Italian, and 2 eggs. You just mix it up really good. See, Diana, someone just said, Diana's telling Rachel that the palmini pasta is great. So, sometimes we all have different taste buds, and that's perfectly fine. I just didn't like the texture of them, so I didn't buy them again. Made pork chops. Did chicken salad. Yum. Julia, that sounds amazing. All right, Karen says, the hubs and I love this lasagna. Tomorrow we're going to try it making a Mexican lasagna using noodles and taco meat and taco seasoning. Yum. That sounds really good. I love to mix things up. You'll have to tell us how that goes. What if you have allergies to nuts or coconut? I don't think this has nuts or coconut in it, Mary, so I don't know if you're talking about the lasagna or if you're talking about something else. So if it's about something else, put that in the comments so I can make sure I understand your question. There are no nuts in this recipe that I know of. I don't think cream cheese or any of the ingredients tonight have nuts in it. I'm having keto-friendly sloppy joes. That sounds awesome, Susan. Sheila is fasting today. She feels good and she is not hungry. I'm proud of you, Sheila. That's wonderful. Can't wait to try this. So let me tell you guys about fasting. I just finished a 60-hour fast. It's an extended fast called the Keto Reboot, which I love to do. It's been like 4 or 5 months since I've done one, and I used to do it every month. And I told you guys a couple of months ago I was shaking things up a bit. So I am a firm believer that you have to every once in a while shake it up. So I love intermittent fasting. I fast daily because I love the way I feel, and I love that I'm in control of food. But that 60-hour Keto Reboot was pretty awesome. And I plan to actually do it again. So I've skipped 4 or 5 months. I think I'm gonna do it again this coming up week with the entire group that does it together. Fasting is great. You don't have to do an extended fast, but intermittent fasting is an amazing thing for your body. When you're trying for keto, it's even more awesome because keto or ketosis is created by fat cells, right? So when you fast, your body has to burn the fat or the glucose, depending on what you're eating, out of your system for energy. So if you're keto and you're fasting, your body is like, well, hello. I mean, you're not eating any fat for me to make into fuel, so I'm gonna start burning your butt. And I love to fast and be keto. You don't have to, but it's just an awesome benefit in addition to the food you're eating. So if you've ever considered intermittent fasting, it's a great time to really read up on it. Just Google intermittent fasting with keto. You'll be amazed at what you see. If you guys would like information on Keto Nat that can help you extend out your fast, then definitely put that in the comments, Nat. Thank you, Steve. Ricky is a lucky man, isn't he? I'm very lucky too, though, I have to say. What were the ingredients for the noodles? I've said that a couple of times. I'm going to post the recipe in the live video. As soon as we finish up, it'll be there. Hey, Dolly. Janet says she made this recipe Sunday just like this, except she did riced zucchini mix from 1 and put in the middle. Yum. That sounds really good. I've never even thought about it. Paige says she missed the beginning. We are making lasagna noodles. So I'm not sure if, I know I've said it a couple of times. Let me go ahead and repeat again. The noodles are 4 ounces of cream cheese softened, 1.5 cups of mozzarella, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and 2 eggs. Salt and pepper, no salt and pepper, that's it. And mix it up really good. Pour it over your parchment paper. Thin it out really good. We got 3 minutes left on our timer, so let's go ahead and check it out and see what it looks like. We're looking for a thin layer to make our noodles. So, oh yes, it's starting to bubble up a little bit. We don't necessarily want that, but that's okay. It'll go down, and see how it's starting to burn, or not burn, but brown just a little bit on the edges. I'm gonna burn myself. See how it's starting to just a little bit on the edges? We're gonna keep that going. We want to get a little browner around the edges. We still have 3 minutes on our timer, so we're gonna keep it going. I see that, Debbie. She wants to know about the Nat samples. I will send you information. Thank you, Carol. If you guys haven't noticed, I bought a new casserole dish and I'm obsessed. I've used it like 1,000 times since I bought it. It's so cute. And I got a bigger one too for my 9x13, but this is just so cute. So I decided I'm making a little lasagna just so I can use it. Kathy ordered the starter mixed Nats box, which is the challenge box. I heard there's a sweet tea lemonade. How do I order if I'm not a first time buyer? Kathy, send me a message about that. The sweet tea actually is gone. We had it for a few days on sale for new customers and existing customers, but unfortunately it is gone right now. It may come back, but I want to talk to you about how to order in case you see a seasonal flavor like sweet tea come across as an existing customer. So send me a message for me. Tammy, so glad I caught your live. Love all my videos. Live in Tennessee. She's in Pleasant View, Tennessee. I'm in Pinson, Tennessee, or Jackson, actually. She's just west of Nashville, and I'm between Nashville and Memphis. And she's having keto lasagna my friend made. How crazy. Thank you, Michelle. Let's see. I'm checking to see what we got going. I'm looking for questions, guys, while we're waiting on those noodles to finish. I got 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and we're going to check and see if they need to keep on going. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Crust recipe again. I just went over it again, Doris. It's going to be in the comments. As soon as we finish this live, it is going to be in the live post, the recipe, and it's super easy. Just follow it just like it says. Now, in the recipe I'm posting for you guys, I do change it up a little bit. I will one day put in my own recipe book. I will be making a recipe book. I do my ricotta layer different. So you'd have to watch the video to get that ricotta layer. I can't say it over and over and over again because people are gonna get tired of hearing, but I do my own ricotta layer. So the recipe is gonna be in the post. You can follow it and it's delicious. But if you wanna do your ricotta layer like mine, then watch the video. Crohn's having issues with Nat. Shelly, I don't know anything about that. A lot of people, not a lot of people, some people do have issues with excessive use in the restroom when they start NAT for the very first time, but generally it's someone who has like irritable bowel syndrome or someone who's eaten a lot of carbs and they start to go into ketosis, which a sign of ketosis is to get rid of things. So, but no, I haven't heard anything specifically on Crohn's, but Shelly, if you'll do me a favor, if you'll send me a message, I will send you a video from one of our physicians at Prove It. If I can find some information on Crohn's and ketones, I will definitely send it to you. We have a great group of physicians who back up this product because they truly are amazing. We have scientists, physicians, the product manufacturers. I mean, they all back this product, and we've been selling, it's been in the market for about 7 years, I'm gonna guess. It's just an amazing thing. So I think ketones are for anyone. It's just picking out the right ones that actually work. These are bioidentical ketones, so they are the exact same ketones your body creates, which means your body knows what to do with them. Your body uses them. You don't drink it and then pee it right out. I mean, it is actually used. It puts you in ketosis, and you can actually check your own blood levels to see that you're in ketosis after drinking these, so they work. Do NAT drinks help curb hunger too? Absolutely, Thalia. And I know you've got your box, or I can't remember if you've got yours or if it's on the way, but I know that you're going to see that. Some people feel that difference within 2 to 3 days. Others need to drink them a whole 10 days. But I can tell you from my own experience, when I very first started, I thought, well, these are nice. I mean, they feel good. They taste delicious. And I did my 20 because I bought a 1 box to try. And then after I stopped, about 4 or 5 days in, I'm like, what? Like, I didn't realize it was giving me energy. It's natural. So I didn't realize how much they were actually helping me with appetite control and energy until I quit drinking them. And it took me a whole 20 days to realize. I have friends right now who literally get a trial pack and they'll send me a message 2 days later saying, what in the world have you fed me? What did you put in my body? Because I feel like a new woman. I've been cleaning my baseboards. I've been sleeping like a baby. Like, everything has changed. What have you done? And I'm like, just 2 days in and you're feeling that good? I mean, that's awesome. It took me 20 days. So we're all a little different. All right, let me pull these out. I want you to see the noodle layer real quick. I'm not done answering questions. I see some on there. I gotta let these rest a second before we cut them. Okay, so pulling it out a little better. You'll see it starting to brown around the edges. This is what we're looking for. We want it to brown. We want it to be really firm in the center. We don't want it to be watery or gooey. So I'm gonna put them back in there for just 2 more minutes. And we're gonna time it for 2 minutes. So we're gonna be very extra careful to make sure that we're watching. Oh, darn it, it's darn oven. Wrong button. 2 minutes. New appliances. We're gonna watch it really carefully because we definitely don't want it to burn. All right, lasagna is one of my favorite recipes, says Brenda. What is the nutrient content? Nutrient content. Mary, do you mean what are the ingredients, or what are the nutritional values for like your packages? I'll be glad to send that to you if that's what you mean. I'm sorry, I must be slow. Nutrient content. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. Do the caffeinated keto nap make you jittery? Absolutely not, Connie. They should never make you jittery. That's not what they are. It's not like an 5-hour energy drink or Red Bull or Monster or anything like that. It are ketones. And ketones are used for fuel. They reach every cell in your brain, every cell in your body, and they're natural. You must buy matzo cheese by the barrel. I do, Jeannie. I love mozzarella cheese. I know I've had so many people say, my gosh, do you ever make anything without cheese? And I'm like, but I love cheese. You know, you guys don't have to use all the cheese I have, I promise, but I love cheese. Eula says she wants to watch me put it together. I'm almost done. We will put it together. Is champagne a good choice for a social drink, low carb? Penny, I have to say, and I always do, if you choose to have an alcoholic beverage every once in a while, you have to know that alcohol is a toxin. Your body, when you put alcohol in your system, has to stop. It ceases any progress and says, what in the world is that? Let me get it out, because it's a toxin. If you do choose to have an alcoholic beverage, there are a lot of low carb options, champagne being one of those, but you do have to look. If it's a sweet champagne, then no. If it's an extra dry or a brut, then yes. So you'll have to do a little research to find out what type of champagne you're talking about. But there are low carb wines, and of course there's low carb beers. There are low carb liquors. But guys, please make sure you know that if you drink them often or if you drink them daily, you 100% will be holding up progress, because they will not, your body will stop the production of ketones and anything else until it gets that alcohol out of its system. All right, so this is looking much better, guys. Let me put a little finger to it. Oh yeah, it's firming up. Ow, it's hot though. Woo, yeah. All right, I'm good with that. Let me pull this sucker out real quick. While we're letting this cool, I'm gonna keep on with the questions, so put them in the comments if you have any. I gotta find an oven mitt. I'm actually gonna put this back over here to warm up this meat. We've been talking for a minute. I'm gonna flip off this hot pan because I want to start cooling now. The other good thing about parchment paper, you can just move it wherever you want it. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Put it in my sink. All right, so while we're waiting on that to cool, we'll keep on with questions. So I hope I answered your question about alcohol. I have to be honest. I do occasionally have one myself, but that is very occasional. Having grilled chicken with buttered broccoli cooked on the grill, it sounds amazing. All right, got my challenge yesterday, Karen did. Strawberry peaches fire. Yes, it's my mom's favorite flavor. She used to love raspberry lemonade, and now she is addicted to strawberry peach. She loves raspberry lemonade as her backup, but now she's all about the strawberry peach. It is super yummy. You use a lot of those in your food. I'm not sure what that is, Andrea. I am Mary, I'm sorry. Pork chops and cream spinach again, Lisa says. It's so good in it. Do you think you could cut the lasagna noodles in thin strips and use them like noodles? I don't know. I know it's delicious in lasagna and I love it for like a crust, but I haven't never tried it like that. Because it is firm, I mean, it's kind of like a bread. So when you make it for your lasagna, you'll see in a minute, it's really thin. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, it's hot, but see, it's like really thin, and it still is like a bread. So I'm not sure if it'll be great for like noodles and a spaghetti, but it's great for lasagna or any kind of layer dish. All right. Thank you, Charlene, for sharing. Y'all share the video. If I've been any help to you, if I've answered your questions, great. Or if you love recipes, share the video. Beth just grilled some chicken and salad tonight. That sounds amazing. Thank you. Let's see. Unstuffed cabbage roll is one of my favorites too. Guys, y'all remind me of all the foods I love because you cook my food and it's so good. I fixed the zucchini boats tonight. We're actually going to do that tomorrow, I believe. I don't eat during the day, but nighttime, I'm sorry. I don't know how I messed that up, Susan. I'm silly. I don't eat during the day, but nighttime I'm extremely hungry. Keto supper and a snack. Susan, you are good to do that. However, I would recommend if you eat something before you get home so the nighttime doesn't hit you so hard. Think about a high-fat, low-carb, or zero-carb snack during the day. Whether that be right before you get home from work or whatever, so that nighttime extreme doesn't hit you. The purpose of the healthy fats is to help you feel full and to help you feel satisfied. So if you were to eat a couple of deviled eggs or something that is high in fat, it will give you that sensation that you're not hungry. That way you don't overdo it at night because it's easy to do so. Hey Helen, I will send you some keto night information. I really do not have a clue what size dish this is because it doesn't tell me, I don't think. Let me see. It don't say nothing. It just says Pioneer Woman. So I don't have a clue, but it's so cute. All right. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate it. Kimberly has lost 35 pounds. Give her some hearts, guys. That's amazing, Kimberly. Thank you. Started keto yesterday. Shelly, that's amazing. how do I find my recipes, Steve, or how do you find my recipes? I find mine a lot of times through Pinterest or friends. Sometimes I find it from Facebook. Where do you find my recipes? I'm working on it. So if you go to my page, I post every single night what I'm cooking. So every night you'll see posts of recipes, but I can't figure out how to on Facebook have like a file so you can go in and just look at a file. So I'm gonna be working on a website before this year is over. I have goals for this year. I'm gonna have a website where you can go and get all of my recipes. And then I also am considering a cookbook. So those are my goals this year. Yes, Peg, I will send you some information on the challenge. Peg, I disappeared from Messenger. What in the world? How'd that happen? All right, Joyce wants some of that information. I will definitely do that. All right, I turned this meat up to get it hot. I'm gonna pull it off the eye. We don't want this to be cooking forever just to melt cheese. Okay. Margaret says, you're keto queen. I keep getting her on my group. You're not, I don't understand what you're saying, Margaret. Margaret, I'm sure I don't understand what you're saying, but if you'll send me, I see that, Cindy. If you'll send me a message about what you're talking about, I'll answer. Cindy says nutrition counts. Are you talking about this recipe still though? I'm so sorry guys. I don't know. I don't understand what you're asking me. That way I can help you. Jane Jackson says she has keto cream on auto ship, supposed to have shipped on the 3rd. The money is out of my account and I got a note saying it would not ship till the 18th. I thought with auto ship I would not have to worry about running out. Does this happen often? Jane, I'm not sure if you order from me. That does not happen very often. If there is a low supply, we always get emails and messages way ahead of time. Jane, I'm not sure if you bought from me. I really apologize. There must be a shortage or something going on with shipping. I don't know about you guys, but COVID is hitting hard again in my area. So it definitely already, I can tell you, is affecting some of the things at my office. So I'm not sure if that's it or not. I apologize. That's a stupid excuse, but I have tried some of your recipes and my husband and kids love them. I haven't tried this one yet. You will have to do so. I see a lot of people asking for night information. I certainly will help. All right, I will send all of you guys information. Cindy wants to know about macros. I personally do not recommend following macros. Macros are awesome for people who are keto for a condition. If you have a medical condition like seizures or some kind of cognitive disease like Alzheimer's, your doctor may have you on a keto diet with following macros, and that is very important to that disease. We are following keto for better health, better energy, better sleep, of course, loss of weight. We want to feel good. We want to be our best self. That's what we're following keto for. And I recommend you focus on carbs alone and not worry about macros. It's way too complicated. It is very stressful. You have to log all of your food, or you have to write down everything to figure out what your macros are. I see a lot of people will send me messages at night saying my pie graph on my app is saying I still need 20 grams of fat, and I'm like, are you hungry? And the answer is no, and I'm like, don't eat. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Don't try to figure out these macros. You're going to eat a lot of food that you don't need because you're eating because you're not even hungry. So I think following a simple keto plan is the best move for everyone. And that is honestly eating when you're hungry and focusing on carbs alone. Eating healthy fats when you cook with them. So when I cook my vegetables, I always use butter, olive oil, avocado oil, those high fats to cook your vegetables or your meat in. But I'm not trying to eat fat all day long. I'm not thinking at my desk, what am I gonna have tonight to make sure my fats are up? Does that make sense? So I always say, keep it simple and make sure whatever you're doing is making sense to you. All right, guys, these should be cool enough. Yes, I can touch them. So let me get my little cutter. Okay, it's off. Cutter. Where is my cutter? Okay, here's my cutter. All right, we're just gonna layer this bad boy up. So we're gonna take this, and because my casserole dish is a little small, I'm gonna try to use 2 layers out of this one pan. I normally cook 2 pans, so I'm gonna do kind of thin layers. No, I gotta make this. I'm cook good on that. I'm gonna do semi-thin layers, or semi-thin strips. You can do these as thick or as thin as you want to. So if you have a big 9x13, you could cook 2 pans and make this work for your big 9x13 with 2 layers. But we're just cutting these just like a pizza. I think I'm good with that. Now, 1, 2, whoops, cut one. Didn't cut it good. 2, 3. See these? And the last one, make sure it's off. It doesn't matter if these are perfect. You can break them. It's not the end of the world. But you'll see they are thin noodles. Kind of bread. Kind of like a bread, but they're fantastic in this lasagna. So I'm going to put just a little bit of meat sauce in the bottom of my pan first. Dang, gum, that's hot. Whew, I'm going to have to get another spoon. That thing's hot. Just a little bit. I always have been told by my granny and my mom, you always put a little bit of sauce in the bottom of your pan, right? So I've got my sauce in the bottom of my pan. Let me see if I can move this back some. All right, sauce in the bottom of my pan, just a little bit. All right, and we're gonna see how I can make these layers work for 2 layers of my lasagna. All right, so this is a pretty big one. And I've got room to actually cut these, so we're gonna make these work perfectly. Normally my 9 by 13, you just put them in there. I'm just measuring them up to my pan, as you can see. All right, so we have a layer of noodles. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put our meat on top. And I wanna make sure I have enough left. My husband's gonna say there's not enough meat because he's a meat eater. I'm a veggie eater. He's a total meat eater. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm trying to make a mess over here. I've moved to the other side of my island. All right, as you can see, I've got a meat layer now. I'm gonna add some of this ricotta cheese layer, which is amazing. Okay. Oops. All right, now because I skimped and I didn't want to make 2 pans, I have to take these noodles and we're going to makeshift our next layer. Got 1, 2, whoops. All right, so this is not the perfect layer. I got a little hole there. Perfectly fine. All right, we're gonna put the rest of our meat. Actually, I'm gonna do my ricotta now. If you wanted to, you could put some mozzarella cheese in between these. I'm not doing that because y'all made fun of my cheese. I'm not gonna do it. But if I wanted to, I could. If you wanted to, you could.
Who cares if they make fun of? If you could do it, who cares?
All right. We got that second layer of ricotta cheese. We're putting our ground beef now on the top layer, and then we are gonna top it off with some delicious mozzarella cheese. I might even put a little bit of Parmesan on here too. You can if you want to, you don't have to. All right, and then we're just gonna put the last layer of the ground beef. Now I love that idea earlier of making a taco style, so I may have to do that one day. Sounds good. This is just regular old Italian lasagna. And we're just mixing it in. Now when we put it back in the oven, everything is cooked, right? So all we have to do is melt that cheese, but because this is a thick casserole, it may take that cheese a couple of minutes. So we'll probably time it for 15, 20 minutes, but really just check. As soon as it's melted and bubbly, it's good to go. So I told my daughter I was making a little lasagna. It's pretty thick, but it is a small lasagna. So look how pretty it is. All right, let me top it up with some mozzarella and put it in the oven, guys. I think I've answered all your questions. I will definitely come back later to see if you have any others. If I can help you, send me a message. If you did want information on Keto Nat, put Nat in the comments. Guys, I hope you have an awesome night and share these videos. Talk to you later. Bye.